All right, boys, let's get down to business. It is time to check out the injury reports for Week 6, as well as some more fantasy football talk. I'll go over to the SGS League recap this week and maybe go over some projections too. But welcome everyone into the Fantasy Football Pod. All right, so we're going to go ahead, kick it off with some injury updates. So, going to go through Underdog on Twitter, or X if you want to call it X now. I always get them mixed up still. But just some relevant news about injuries and some other things. Stefanski, when asked if Shedeur Sanders is number 2 QB, I'll let the week play out, make a decision later. I mean, Shedeur, they've already came out and said Shedeur is going to play sometime in the future, unless Dylan Gabriel starts playing tremendously better. But as of right now, it doesn't really matter for fantasy whatsoever. You wouldn't want to start either one of those guys anyways. Let's see. Saquon was limited at practice Tuesday. We'll have to check out the injury reports for Wednesday. But as of right now, that is something to look at. But I believe he already came out and said that he's going to be playing Thursday, or he's on track to play Thursday, so he's probably going to play regardless. So, Tyron Tracy is looking like he's going to be coming back this week. What that means for Cam Skattebo is to be determined, because obviously Tyron Tracy basically lost his job a couple weeks ago, and Cam Skattebo took over. And Cam Skattebo's been playing pretty well. So, if anything, I think Tyron Tracy will probably still be involved in this offense, but it being a committee, I don't think it's going to necessarily be a committee. I think Cam Skattebo has already taken this job, but Tyron Tracy will still be a part of the offense and would be a good pickup for waivers, just for a premium handcuff, pretty much. Let's see. I mean, other than that, like the injury news and everything, I mean, obviously the big news yesterday was Joe Flacco got traded to the Bengals. So if you have Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, you're a little bit more excited going to week now, having a veteran QB like Joe Flacco around. Obviously, with him having the bigger threats compared to what he had on the Browns, I would expect Joe Flacco to play a little bit better, but his ceiling's pretty much capped. I mean, he's 41 years old, and he's one of the oldest QBs in the league. So, necessarily, I don't know how much juice he has left. This could be his last season. But, I mean, definitely excited to start T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Chase Brown this next upcoming week. Just because, obviously, Flacco is a better passer than Jake Browning. So, I don't really think there's anything else that's too serious. We're still going to be monitoring a lot of injuries, a lot of the injuries. We'll have some more updates on that coming soon. I will say that Chuba Hubbard is still someone to keep a watch for in case you want to start Rico Dowdle again this week. But it's very curious to see if Chuba does play, how this backfield is going to look. Because after the blow-up game that Rico Dowdle had this past Sunday, there are some rumors and stuff up in the air. Just, I would make an assumption that Rico is going to be in a committee with Chuba. But Chuba was a clear-cut starter here. It could just be his backfield still, and Rico's just going to be a premium handcuff back to have for the rest of the season in case Chuba does get hurt again. So that all we'll just have to see play out. I don't think George Kittle is going to come back this week, but there has been a little bit of news circulating about George Kittle being at practice, looking like he's doing reps with the first team and all this kind of da-da-da stuff. I don't know if he's going to be fully ready to go this week. I think it just kind of all depends on if Brock Purdy plays too. If Brock Purdy plays, Kittle may have a chance of coming back. But I wouldn't bank on it. If anything, he's for sure coming back week 7. But week 6 is a little bit of a stretch. Now, pretty much, yeah, I mean, if there's any other injuries or anything that I missed, let me know. But I'm pretty sure that's that's everything that I've been kind of monitoring closely. Obviously, the waiver wire, we'll talk about that too. Definitely some big waiver wire pickups this week that happened, especially in the SGS league. Being a 14-team league, anytime you have a chance to go pick up waivers in a league like that, you go do it. That could change your team. So, obviously, probably the biggest news was Marion Hampton going down and is on IR. So, obviously, he's going to be missing at least the next 4 games. It's looking like, from what they're saying, he's going to be good to go after week 4. After that 4th week, but that's just something that I like I said, this is just so far out. I mean, you never know. Like, his rehab or whatever it is could be, his recovery could be obviously taking a little bit longer than usual. There's always factors with things like this, so but we'll just have to see. So, looking at the waiver report, obviously you could see the big list of people right here that were trying to go after Hassan Haskins. So, Hassan Haskins got picked up by Andy this week. It's going to be interesting to just kind of see how this backfield is going to play out, just because, I mean, they did split the backfield whenever Hampton did go down. Out of the 2 backs, who would I prefer from a talent perspective? Probably Haskins. Haskins shown a little bit more in college, but the thing is we haven't gotten like really any NFL reps from these guys. Like, we've only seen like a very small sample size of how both of these players are. And I mean, their ceiling, I mean, I don't see a big ceiling with either one of these running backs, to be honest with you. Definitely could score touchdowns, and I mean, that you'll definitely love to see that. But like, when it comes to like a PPR perspective, being pass catching a lot in the backfield and getting a lot of carries, I mean, the Chargers are pretty heavy on passing, I think, going forward. I'm not really too sure how this backfield is going to look, so it is kind of a toss-up on either 2 of those guys that you choose. But yeah, obviously Vidal was the other big one. He went over to Bryce's team. There was a couple other guys too. Let's see. That waiver-wise were some guys that I didn't think would be bad pickups, just in case. Where is... There we go. Okay. So, obviously, Ryan Flournoy was another guy that he had a really big week last week, popped off. Now, the thing is when CD comes back, this guy is irrelevant. But I will say this, that he has shown a little bit of... he's looking like he's definitely going to be the number 3 wide receiver for the Cowboys going forward. So, just from my mind, I mean, I don't know. Jalen Tolbert pretty much was that wide receiver 3, but we haven't really seen a lot from him this year. So, it's just kind of a toss-up who is going to be that wide receiver 3. But Flournoy, after the performance he put up this past week, definitely could be someone to think about. Kendrick Bourne was the other big one this week. Got picked up by Connor Calivan. I mean, Kendrick Bourne is definitely a must-start option if Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall end up being out this week. If both of them are once again going to be out this week, then 100% put Kendrick Bourne in your lineup. There's no reason not to, because either way, they're going to find a way to give someone the ball, and it's looking like he's the best receiver that they have right now, so he's going to be given the ball a lot. Now, if Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings do come back, I just don't see how you would ever want to start this guy. So, either way, still a pretty decent pickup for this week, just in case, both of them end up going down. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, tight ends were another big thing this week that I think some people were wanting to take advantage of. I mean, Mason Taylor, he's had back-to-back great games for the Jets, rookie. I mean, he definitely is looking really good. I mean, you look at his stats, he's dropped 9 fantasy and 13 fantasy points in the past 2 weeks, off of 7 and 12 targets last game. So he's definitely looking like he is going to be Justin Fields' number 2 option going forward in this offense. But like I said, this is Justin Fields. You know how some of his games go. He loves to run the ball a lot too. So we'll just have to see. But obviously the passing volume in New York has been a little bit more than what we expected to start this year. And then it was, what's his name? Theo Johnson was another good one too. Theo Johnson, he's had back-to-back weeks, pretty solid as well with 9 and 18. So Theo Johnson's been playing pretty good these past 2 weeks. He's definitely been one of Jackson Dart's favorite targets since he took over under center. So Theo Johnson is another guy that could have some intrigue, definitely worth a roster spot. And then A.J. Barner was another guy that I thought would be a decent pickup at tight end this week. He's had back-to-back really good weeks as well. So a couple different tight ends that kind of just came out of nowhere and are looking fantasy relevant. So now, SGS League, let's get into it. We're going to check out these matchups from the past week. Week 5. Okay. So, week 5 here. The first matchup that we're going to go with is Seth and Bert. So, Seth, very dominant performance this week for him. He moves to 3-2. Great performances from Ibuka, Breece Hall, Judkins, Devontae Smith. So just a solid starting lineup right there. Got the dub. I will say Ibuka is looking like the steal of the draft so far. Now, obviously, when Mike Evans and Chris Godwin really gets back up to speed, I'm going to be interested to kind of see how it goes going forward. But from what it looks like right now, Ibuka is definitely the steal of the draft so far. 7th round pick. I mean, he is 100% been, from everyone knew from a talent perspective when he was coming out of Ohio State. He is really good. So he's definitely been a really, really good player for Seth all year. And then you look at Bert's team, and Ollie Gordon didn't do nothing. Unfortunately, he could not. He's just not deep enough at running back to start another running back, unfortunately, because of DeAndre Swift sitting out. But, yeah, I mean, that really kind of killed him. The receivers, I mean, didn't play terribly. It was a decent performance. And then, obviously, Javonte Williams continues to play out of his mind this year. Another big surprise of the year for sure. I mean, he could be arguably the steal of the draft as well, being an 8th-round pick. So, but, yeah, I mean, overall, just kind of patience for Bert right now. Obviously getting Rashee Rice back pretty soon, so that's going to be exciting. But otherwise, Seth, you're a 3-2, and Bert's now 1-4. So not the best fantasy season for Bert, man. Damn. After winning it all last year, what a big turnaround. Now we got Tuck and Carson. So Tuck, you know, his team, obviously the running backs went absolutely crazy Thursday night. And when you see that and you're playing against an opponent that has both of those running backs that went for over 20-something points both, you get a little worried because that's a lot of points already from just 2 guys. So that's really the story. Tuck's team got carried by the running backs. He's arguably got one of the best running back groups in the league. Wide receiver-wise, I mean, Garrett Wilson has been really good all season. He's number 5 currently. I will say Garrett Wilson continues to crush. Zay Flowers has been, you know, he's not been terrible, but obviously with Lamar Jackson not being in this offense, his ceiling isn't really there. But then he'll have Jaylen Warren coming back this week, and yeah, I mean, Tuck's team's looking nice so far. So now with Carson, obviously Carson's team, the Amarion Hampton news is substantial. It's very unfortunate, and unfortunately, you had to start 2 Denver running backs this week too, with just the situation that you're in currently. So now, wide receiver wise, still deep. Nico Collins had a great game. McMillan just continues to get all the volume, just hasn't had a breakout yet. And then Jake Ferguson is currently the number 1 tight end in fantasy right now. So Jake Ferguson is continuing to crush. But yeah, otherwise, Tuck, absolute monster performances from the running backs, goes 3-2 on the season. Carson's now 2-3. We got Kyle and Chance up next. Now, I was saying this was definitely one of the this was definitely something that would have shaped up to be one of the matchups of the week, and it ended up living up to it. It was a really close matchup. I mean, obviously, Jonathan Taylor continues to crush. He is currently the number one running back in fantasy right now after his 3-touchdown performance this past week. Derrick Henry, he did what he had to do. He got the touchdown, so not a bad performance from him either. Josh Allen played okay. Debo had a big game. But yeah, I mean, overall, Kyle's team's looking really solid. And he is 3-2 now. Well, with Chance, obviously, running back issues going into this week. Unfortunately, had to put Xavier Scott in the lineup, and Xavier Scott didn't do nothing. Cam Scatterbo didn't have a big game, but he still scored 11. Wide receiver-wise, the wide receivers played great. Wan'Dale Robinson, but I mean, it was kind of hard to expect a lot from Wan'Dale this first upcoming week. But he'll have Roman Dunze coming back, and Lamar kind of up in the air. Bucky Irving still up in the air, so we'll kind of see. But yeah, the injuries have kind of plagued Chance, and unfortunately, I think that's the reason why he ended up losing this week. But he's now 3-2. Andy and Easton. Easton's team went absolutely crazy this week. Dak Prescott continues to arguably look like an MVP candidate this year with how he has been playing. He's putting up insane numbers. Jahmyr Gibbs played okay. I mean, for his standards. I mean, he didn't get his projection, but I mean, he was expected to go nuts against Cincinnati, but still played good. ETN didn't play that well. Finally got a good game from Calvin Ridley. Puka Nacua obviously going to continue to do his thing. But then Rico Dowdle on the flex. I mean, that was the game changer there, putting up 30.9. Gives Easton the dub this week. Andy is now 0-5. And, I mean, no one ever wants to be in this position. And, unfortunately, just not everyone is living up to their expectations on the roster so far. And has had a lot of points scored on him, too. So, I mean, there's that as well. But, I mean, Patrick Mahomes played great. I mean, running backs is really what is killing him right now. Running backs, I mean, obviously, 2 guys on the bench go for 18 and 13. I mean, it's tough. It's really tough. Jackson Smith's been a monster this year, too. So, I mean, really just this running back situation. Obviously, CD being hurt doesn't really help that much as well. But, yeah, the running back situation is kind of killing Andy right now. He doesn't really know what to do, which I don't blame him. I wouldn't know what to do either. TreVeyon Henderson's been nothing so far this year, and it doesn't make any sense. Woody Marks has been, he had that breakout last week, and then for some reason they just don't feed him the ball this next week. It was, I don't know. But, yeah, Andy, I would hate to be in your position, brother. It's not a good position ever to be in. But just going to have to keep fighting. I don't know what else to tell you, man. Now, Jason Dillon. Dylan's team got the dub, so Dylan has won 2 straight now. Now, it was some low-scoring affairs, but as you can see, I mean, really it looks like what it came down to was wide receiver play. As you can see, I mean, wide receivers kind of played a little bit better than the wide receivers that Jace had. Unfortunately, Jace wasn't too deep at wide receiver this week, so unfortunate. But looking like Jace's team's got a little bit of upside going into the future with some of these guys coming back. But yeah, I mean, overall, Dylan fought for the win. It was a defensive battle, but he got the dub. So Dylan's now 2-3, and Jace goes to 3-2. Now for the Connie and Jack matchup. Now Jack just continues to get wins, and pretty decent performance from his team this week. Baker had once again another big game. Saquon played great. Njoku, Rashad White, Texans defense played very well as well. So I mean, you look at Jack's team, and he's getting these dubs, man. He's getting them out, and it's hard to beat him right now. It is. Apparently, it's really hard to beat him right now. James Cook's played very well this year as well. Kind of had a down game this week, but yeah, I mean the Rachaad White flex start was huge, and Jack continues to be undefeated and is the only undefeated guy in this league still. So now Connie's team, I think the wide receivers played decent for sure. I mean all the wide receivers did their job. It was just kind of the running backs that kind of brought them down a little bit, as well as the Seahawks defense, -5. Don't want to see that. I mean, unfortunately, you had to start Isaiah Davis with no Bijan this week. So, but yeah, that's really what killed them. Once again, another bye week defeat. Unfortunately, I don't want to say bye week defeat, but bye week affected Connie from having his full roster, obviously. But that's just how fantasy football is. You got to be ready. So, 3-2 for Connie on the year. Now, me and Bryce's matchup, we didn't have a high-scoring matchup either. I mean, this one was just kind of another defensive battle here. Obviously, I was worried with C.J. Stroud going crazy this week against Baltimore's defense, and then seeing Jamar Chase score those late touchdowns. I was worried. I didn't think I was going to get it, but I made the decision, and I'm glad I did make the decision because I needed points, and if I would have kept Xavier Worthy in the lineup, I would have lost. So once that injury news came out, I threw Stephon Diggs in instantly, and what do you know, Stephon Diggs has the best game of his season so far, and so that was awesome to do. I'm glad I made that decision, or I would have lost this week. So that was a big decision I had to make. So, but I mean, with Bryce's team, you know, really Kamara needs to get traded. In my mind, Kamara gets traded. Let Keandre Miller on my team be a starting running back so I can shop him around. That's the whole goal. But literally, Alvin Kamara needs to get traded. Because it looks like he's losing snaps, he's not getting as many touches. There's just a lot going on with Kamara right now, and I think it's time. I think it's time for Kamara to go. Kenneth Walker, obviously, it's still a split backfield. It's just really hard to have this happen, unfortunately. But not a big week from Quentin Johnson. Finally kind of came back to life this week after having an absurd start to the year. But Bryce is now 1-4, and I moved to 3-2. So, yeah, that was some of the matchups that we had this week. Now, let's see here.
Just letting y'all know, boys, I almost just shit myself.
Let's just look through these matchups real quick. I know some people haven't really, set their lineups or anything yet, but I'm just going to go through these matchups. We're going to figure it out, who I got winning these weeks. So, all right. Looking at Jace versus Andy this week. Obviously, Andy went up and picked Haskins. He's got Charbonnet in the starting lineup. This is interesting. Obviously, it looks like he's going to start Jalen Coker for right now due to Jordan Addison being on bye and then still up in the air with CD. But overall, looking at this matchup, I think I'm going to lean towards Jace's side just by a hair. Not by a lot, but just by a hair. The running back group that Jace has is absurd. As of right now, looking really good. So, very strong running back core for Jace. I think he's definitely looking like he's getting the dub this week. Looking at Jack and Kyle's matchup, so Jack hasn't filled in for his defense yet, and then we'll kind of see. He'll probably keep Cooper Kupp in if I had to guess. But yeah, going up against Kyle. Kyle's team's projected a lot of points this week. Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, a lot of these guys, DK's probably projected pretty well too, and Debo. So overall, yeah, it's looking like a very strong matchup. It could go either way here. It really could. I think Saquon definitely is going to play this week, but obviously it's the wide receivers that I'm still concerned about with Jack every single week. His running backs are going to probably be pretty strong this week once again if Bucky Irving is out. But I will say this, that I'm going to lean towards Kyle this week. Kyle, please beat him. We need someone to beat Jack, dude. We don't want anyone to be undefeated. Don't make this guy undefeated. Beat him. We don't want any more undefeateds in this league. Now, Bryce Carson. Now, obviously, both are dealing with problems. Two different problems. Carson's dealing with injuries. Unfortunately, no Marion Hampton. But not only that, Nico Collins is on bye, too. So, but looking at Bryce's team's looking pretty solid this week. He's pretty much got all of his guys. Now, I will say this. We're going to continue to see what happens with Kamara. And then we would expect a bounce back from Quentin Johnson against Miami. So, but yeah, overall, Carson, he's going to have to start both of the Denver running backs this week. But his wide receivers, he's got Drake, McMillan, Iamore, Nico Collins on bye. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. Definitely a 50-50 matchup here. It could go either way. I will lean towards... Ooh, who do I lean towards this week? I got to lean towards Carson. Just by a hair. It's not by a lot. Now, looking at Seth and Chance's matchup, obviously Chance got to fill in some spots into this week. Got Justin Jefferson on bye. Looking like Seth's got his full squad. So Seth's coming full force. That's why he's projected a decent amount this week. It will get kind of more evened out once a defense and a running back are put in for Chance. But definitely going to probably be a pretty dead even matchup. I would probably lean towards... I'd probably lean towards Seth this week. I don't know, though. Now that I think about it, Matthew Stafford playing Baltimore, that dude could drop 30. I'm going to go with Chance. All right. Now, Bird and Easton. Right now, Easton's team looking very strong, projected 110 points this week. Jahmyr Gibbs, Dak, Puka, all playing out of their minds. We'll have to see how Rico Dowdle is going to be this week. If he is going to lead the backfield. If he's going to lead the backfield, you got to go with him 100%. 100%. So, definitely keep him in the lineup for right now until you hear otherwise. Burt, on the other hand, he's pretty much looking pretty solid. Doesn't have any bye weeks in effect. Neither one of these guys got bye weeks in effect. So, I will say this. Looking at this matchup just on paper, I would lean towards, arguably, this is a good matchup, pretty much. I'd lean towards Easton, but, yeah, it could be close. Dylan and Connor this week. Connor's projected 111. Looks like he's projected out for a decent week. He's got Bijan back. Tony Pollard, I don't know. He's just been a little off this year. He had 13 last game, actually. Wow. That was a little sneaky 13. But, yeah, looking at this matchup on paper, obviously I would lean towards the Connie side if George Pickens is still the number one guy and Devontae Adams continues to play good. Jalen Waddle's looking really nice as well. Just the wide receiver group that Bryce has, to me, is better as of right now. Running back-wise, Bijan is definitely a big part of this running back core for Connie. Chase Brown's got a little bit more upside this week, but Green Bay's defense is pretty solid, so just got to get ready for that. And then Ashton Genty's playing Tennessee, so I'll lean towards Connie this week. And then I got the matchup with Tuck. He's projected the most points this week. He's projected 120 points because he's got Christian McCaffrey, Kyron Williams, Garrett Wilson. Justin Herbert's got a great matchup this week. Not looking the best for me so far. A little scared about this matchup this week. I'm debating who to start wide receiver wise in this group right now because I might want to throw Stephon Diggs in, but we'll see. But really, unfortunately, I'm taking on a gauntlet in projections this week, so I got to just be ready for it. So, but yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll definitely have another video coming this week at some point. I will be going to Colorado for a full month, so I'm going to try to see if I can do the pod while I'm in Colorado. I might have to do it on my phone. Or if I could find maybe I might be able to do it in some office well, actually, I don't know. We're staying at Airbnb. Fuck. Well, either way, maybe I'll figure something out to be able to stream to you guys. It's probably going to be my phone, but we'll still try to continue to put out some videos. Unless anyone wants to carry the pod for me for this next month, go for it. If anyone is willing to do that, you don't necessarily have to. I can still do the pod, but if anyone wants like a week that they want to do so I don't have to worry about it, go for it. I mean, I love doing this and everything and giving you all the information that I have personally about fantasy football and stuff like that, but obviously it's going to be a little hard for me this week to be able to put out the videos. Not this week, I mean the next 4 weeks being in Denver, so hopefully I can maybe have access to a computer of some sort and do it on a computer. But as of right now, it's looking like I'm probably going to have to do it on my phone. So, but appreciate everyone for tuning in. Just let me know if y'all want to do the pod this week. Reach out to me, and definitely we'll try to get it put in on the channel and everything, and just send the video over to me and all that, and we'll get it going. But either way, just however we want to do it, let's do it. So. Definitely do want to get some people on the pod. I've been trying to get Bert to get on the pod this week, but I know he's working right now. But obviously, if he's available, if you're going to be available anytime this week, just please let me know when you're available so we can get the commissioner on this pod. We need the commissioner to come out and talk to us and speak to us face-to-face on a video and let us know what his thoughts are in the league and how it's been being commissioner so far. 'Cause it's not an easy job, man. It's not an easy job. But yeah, other than that, guys, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, dude, we look at the league and it's close. There's a lot of 3-2s in this league. We now have 7 3-2 teams. So no, I'm counting wrong. We have 8 3-2 teams. There's 8 3-2 teams in this league currently. And 2 that are 2-3, and 2 that are 1-4, and then 1 that's 0-5, and then Jack's 5-0. So I mean, yeah, it's starting to shape up to be a very close battle so far. I mean, a lot of these teams have been pretty dead even this year so far. So I feel like I'm always middle of the pack, man. Always in the middle of the pack. I pretty much had the same points scored as I've had scored on me. Hell yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a grind so far this year for a lot of our teams. Every matchup is just close, man. It's either close or someone has a crazy week going forward. So obviously Jack's projected number 1 so far, and then Tuck's 2, Kyle's 3, Easton's 4. Connie's 5. Who's 6? Chance, and then Seth, Jace, me, Carson, Dylan, Bert, Bryce, Andy. So that's just the current power rankings as they are right now. So, all right then, man. I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate y'all tuning into the stream this week, and definitely will be back for another video soon. Thank you, guys.